Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is here's why grocery stores sell bread in paper bags. This article is from southernliving.com, and this title caught my attention. You know, I've been off and on breads for about 2 years. I've tried the Ezekiel breads. I've tried no bread. I've tried plant-based breads. I've tried dairy-free breads, and of course I've tried gluten-free breads, if I didn't mention that. And out of all the breads so far that I have found, there is a bread that is plant-based, and it's called Little Northern Bakery, and it's plant-based, and I believe we got it at Whole Foods for $7. I've tried all the Ezekiel breads. It's the brand. Ezekiel is actually a type of bread, and I think they have 3 or 4 sprouted breads. When I found the Ezekiel bread, they've got like a purple one, an orange one. They've literally got like 8 different variations. And the sprouted breads were best for me. But once I got a hold of this Little Northern Bakery bread, hands down the best bread. It's like really soft inside. It's almost like a donut, and it's all plant-based. And the crust is like really crispy. And I do not know the answer to this, as why do grocery stores put their fresh baked bread in bags? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this, y'all. So it's written by Melissa Locker. Hello, Antoinette. Hello, April. Hello, Cindy. So it says, when you pick up a loaf of bread at a bakery or in the bakery section of Piggly Wiggly, which I found my first Piggly Wiggly in Alabama, and I thought, oh no, in South Carolina, and I thought that was the coolest, oddest name of a grocery store. Or a Harris Teeter. I've never been to a Harris Teeter. Let me know if you've been to a Harris Teeter. Frequently it will come in a paper bag. It's a bit strange since sandwich loaves always come in a plastic bag that you can simply reseal or store. When bread comes in a paper bag, though, it means either putting it in plastic bag when you get home or the risk of the bread going bad quickly. So why do bakeries and grocery stores sell them in a paper bag in the first place? Well, it says, while some conspiracy-minded folks think this is just the bread, so the bread will go stale more quickly, making bread lovers fork over more of their hard-earned cash for fresh bread. Well, that's not the truth, it says. So it says, normally the bread comes in brown bags, are those beautiful artisan loaves of sourdough or baguettes that are fun to bring on a picnic or serve at a dinner party. They are meant to be eaten within a day or two of purchasing and not stored in the cabinet for a few days. It says breads without breads without added sugar or fat, like baguettes, are in the peak for just a few days after baking. After that, they will start to lose their flavor and become hard and dry, and perfect for French toast or bread pudding. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I love some French toast, y'all. That would be definitely like a cheat meal. It says, that's why Publix usually sells its bakery loaves in plastic bags and why most sandwich bread comes in plastic. It's designed to last a while on your pantry shelves. Have you all ever been to Publix? The first Publix I went to was in Alabama, and I believe it's employee owned, which is really, really rad. It's really, really clean in there. I don't recall seeing Publix having fresh bread wrapped in plastic. Very, very interesting. Here's another thing too that just caught my attention is that, let's say Wonder Bread or ramen meal or all the traditional breads, right, are in plastic. Is that plastic BPA free? Let's find out. Do you know? You know, that's when that caught my attention, brown bags. I was like, well, probably because, you know, they don't want the chemicals or the BPA and all that stuff in the plastic. But that's not the case here. But I'm wondering what companies do sell plastic breads on the traditional grocery stores that are BPA free. Let's find that out. So it says, so why sell in paper at all? It says because paper lets air into the bag, keeping the bread dry and the crust crisp and delicious. It says, if you store bread in a plastic bag, the moisture from the bread gets trapped in the bag, making the crust soft. Storing in plastic will keep the bread fresher longer, but you'll lose the crust. It says, luckily, there are other storage options. Scientifically speaking, bread will go stale more quickly in the refrigerator because of the low temper dries it out. I did not know that. There's so many different philosophies and wise tales that keep the bread in the refrigerator. You know, it lasts longer. Or when you're done, keep it in the freezer and take it out an hour before you want to use it, right? I know the Ezekiel breads, every time I bought the Ezekiel brand bread, it was always in the freezer. Also, the best bread that I found, that plant-based, the Little Northern Bakery, that is in the freezer too. I kept it in the freezer after I used 4 to 6 slices, and then after that I put it in the fridge. I'm telling you all, if you can find that, because I'm starting to eat bread a little bit more. I'm actually might play with a little bit of a keto diet after I finish that 14-day optimal reset for you all. But that plant-based bread is so good, y'all. It tastes good. It digested well. It's a little bit pricey, and it's a small bag. It's a white packaging, but by far the best tasting plant-based bread that I've ever tried. So let me continue on. It says, if you really love fresh bread, considering getting a ceramic bread box. What? Or asking your grandmother if she has one to borrow. So I guess back in the day, used to have a bread box on the dining table, or you know, on the kitchen counter. Just like I remember my grandmother, bless her heart, I love her. She's so dear to me. She passed away 10 years ago. Her name is Leona. She would always have a cookie jar. She would always have a sugar dish, right? You'd always take sugar out. And she would always have a butter dish. Now, she kind of had, you know, different philosophies on butter. She would have butter that was room temperature. She would have butter that was in the fridge. And then she also had that one stuff, I think it was Parquet, or I can't believe it's not butter. And now we know that is like super toxic and basically yummy nastiness. But ceramic bread box, that's interesting. So that must have been a thing. I wonder, I bet you they'd be pretty pricey now, but I bet you if you go to a swap meet or an antique shop, you could get a rad ceramic bread box. And it says, it swears it has the ideal air circulation for keeping bread fresh without drying it out. It says, alternatively, simply sit your bread cut side down in a paper bag, and that will keep the crumb side moist and the crust crisp. It says, alternatively, enjoy the bread fresh, and when you've had your fill, cut the remainder into slices, stick it into a bag, and keep it in the freezer for fresh, crispy toast whenever you're in the mood. So, this article is from southernliving.com, and it says, here's why grocery store sells bread in paper bags. I learned a lot about that. Number one, if you put it in the fridge, you could dry it out. Number two, ceramic bread boxes is a thing. I actually just purchased a toaster oven on Amazon for, I believe it was $48. I'm going to do a review on that. I'm going to go Facebook Live. And it has 2 little toaster slots, and then it has a little pull-out thing for like a little pizza or something like that, just to keep warm foods. You know, I was raw for a very long time, and I like trying new things. You know, the keto thing has interested me. I pay attention to a lot of doctors, a lot of scientists, a lot of nutritionists, the people that have those tags, and I don't shut anybody out. I'm all about, you know, listening and learning from all these people. And it's funny because when you ask that person what they eat, if they're a doctor or nutritionist, a lot of the times they'll be, you know, proving facts and stating facts, but then when you ask what they eat, they're doing something very different than what they even suggest to other people. And that tells me that everyone is different. And so, you know, I've been, you know, 100% raw. I've been, you know, 90% raw. I've been vegetarian. You know, I've been the whole bodybuilder with the whey protein. You know, I even limited it to just eggs. Then I got rid of the eggs. Then I've limited no red meat. You know, then I introduced red meat. And so probably in about 3 weeks, I'm going to try the keto diet, because from what I've seen, that really is really popular. And I'm going to do a video on that where, you know, 5 celebrities, obese celebrities, some of them that you will know, have credited the keto diet to a better lifestyle, that they feel better, and that really is eliminating most carbs. So anyways, this is another episode of Rad Raps. Hopefully you liked it. Hello, Don. I'll read a couple questions. Hello, Marilyn on Instagram. Hello, Brandon Cindy. Hello, Super Mommy. Follow us on YouTube at Radiculously Rawthentic, and go join our group. We have 50,000 rock and rad stars in our Facebook group, y'all. It's called Radiculously Rawthentic. Ninja Flip over there. Tell us what your favorite bread is. Tell us what your favorite bread is when you were a child. What do you buy now? Do you make your own bread? Do you have a bread machine? What do you do with your bread? Do you make cold cuts? Do you make French toast? Let us know. Let's learn from each other. You know, let's inspire and share with each other what works for us. So Gemma says, nice t-shirt, Tom. Thank you. One of our Rock and Rad stars and really good friend in North Dakota, Chow, gave this to me. I think it's Lulu LaRue, and it fits really, really good. I love it. It fits real nice. You can breathe in it really, really good. Hello, Nikki. She says, keto is one that I have yet to experiment with. Well, I'm going to play with it. I'm going to go deep on it. I also want to play with some big-time water fasting. You know, maybe like 20-day water fast, and maybe like a 3 or 4 day dry fast. So I'm all about experimenting. I know what works for me from what I've tried. I know what doesn't work for me, but there's so many more, I guess, diet ideologies, and there's so much more science, and it really is about, you know, what your blood type is. You know, were you abused as a child? You know, I mean, there's so much trauma. You know, was your mother an alcoholic? Did she, whatever it is, there's so many different issues. You know, we're all different. My liver is definitely different than yours because I have drank a lot. If no one's ever had a sip of alcohol, you know, and I was a raging alcoholic, I need to shore up, you know, I need to heal my liver probably more than you. And so, you know, or, you know, I might have IBS, you know what I mean? Or I might be a type 2 diabetic. And so, my opinion, what I'm learning, there's no one diet that fits all. And that's why this intrigues me, is because a lot of people will go like this: you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. I'm like, whoa, hold on, that didn't work for me. You know, this is what works for me. And there's so much more out there. These computers that we have, these little ninja computers that we can put in our pocket, you can just learn and learn and learn and learn and learn what works for you. And then when someone asks you, be like, hey man, you know what, I love drinking dairy. You know, I operate really well on dairy. You know, I can't eat Brussels sprouts because they give me the babufas, but you know, hey, I can eat, you know, a tuna fish sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly with Wonder Bread, boom, you know, and go run a 20-mile, you know, marathon, you know, or I can go eat, you know, a grilled cheese, you know, with extra mayonnaise and go swim 30 miles to Alcatraz. It's like, well, good on you. So anyways, that's here's why grocery stores sell bread in paper bags. I did not know that. Thank you for joining me. If you like these type of videos, y'all, share this video in groups. I will continue to do what you all engage with. I'm here to serve you. So if you like my funny little music videos, if you like my Facebook Lives when I'm the What Love Shack, if you like any of my inspirational, motivational stuff, let me know, because I look at your comments. I try to answer your comments. I pay attention to the group. You know, we have the 12-week meal plan if you're interested in. We have the 14-day optimal reset. Hit us up in the group. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.